Hi, guys. Welcome to Chakra Sessions. I am your host, Polly Jo Labbe. Today, we are talking about opening your intuitive gifts. And I know we all have specific gifts that we've come here with. Good morning, Margaret. Nice to see you in the house. So when we come into, this being, being here on planet Earth, we all have special tools in our tool belt. And a lot of people talk about them as gifts. And gifts are, hello, Lindsay. Welcome. Hi, Rob. What'd you know, Polly Jo? Nice. Glad to have you guys in the house. So this show is all about tapping into what your intuitive gifts are. And good morning, Neshi. Nice to see you. I'm loving this shade of purple that's coming up. I was playing around with the color chart on Google. Actually, they have like this, all the numbers you can punch in. And I wanted to play a little bit with the colors. So I'm enjoying this purple. It's perfect for you guys today. Hello, Robin. Nice to see you. Good afternoon. Yes. So the way, I sort of see it is that we all came here with these tools in our toolbox. And most people refer to them as gifts. And I'll tell you, for those of you who have some of the psychic and empathic gifts, sometimes they don't feel like gifts. Sometimes they feel a little bit like curses, but that's okay. But that's what I'm talking about. Hi, Cassandra. I'm glad you're going to catch us on the replay. Work is what it is. You'll hear it when you're meant to hear it. That's kind of how I see it. So this is about tapping into what tools you have in your toolbox. It does not mean that you can't learn more, but it does mean that when you expand the ones that you were already given, other tools just show up for you to use. So when I talk about like psychic gifts, for example, many of you are empathic, which is called clairsentient. And if you have clairsentient as a gift, the more you learn to work with it so that it's not controlling you, you are in charge of how your gifts are working, the more you can start to access your other clair gifts. You may notice that your clear seeing, your clairvoyance or your clairaudience, your hearing, will start to get better as well. And so that's the special thing about opening your gifts is the more you open the ones that are your strengths, the more some other ones will start to pop to the surface. So one of the things that I teach at the school, Trinity School of Mystical Energy Healing, is that work with your strengths, and as you work with your strengths, things that you thought were your weaknesses will start to become stronger too, because that means you're being more in your core and more in your truth, which is what we all need to do to be able to be in sync or in flow or able to manifest. Those are all reasons to open your intuitive gifts. So I'm going to do my little bit of housekeeping, which is if you guys could like and share this broadcast so we can kind of get it out there to as many people who need it as possible, that would be fabulous, because Facebook has it show up in the news feed for people depending how much you comment and like and share. And that's the easiest way for us to get around the Facebook algorithms. So thanks, guys, if you could do that. So some of you may have been listening to Mervyn Kelly's show this morning. And if you didn't, I highly suggest that you catch it in the replay. It was fabulous. And he was talking all about magic. especially from a druid perspective. And the way he was describing magic is the synchronicities and the way things are just really in alignment with the divine energy. So we can have magical moments in all sorts of ways, and it just depends on your perspective. And so your intuitive gifts are very much like your personal magic. And we all have that. And, magic can conjure up some negativity. So can the word psychic. So I tend to not use the word psychic as often because there are people who are triggered by that word. But really what we're tapping into is your sixth sense that we all have. And yes, thank you, Neshi. From Star to Stone with Mervyn Kelly was the show topic today, was magic from a druid point of view. And it was fabulous. So if you missed it, tap into that. And because I certainly got a lot out of it. And so one of the things that kind of came to mind from watching his show, which is always nice, when we listen to other people, when we take classes with other master teachers, we open up some creativity and we open up some part of our gifts that we didn't realize we weren't tapping into. So for me, one of the things that it, tapped into for me was to show you guys the stones, the classic stones, but also a couple other stones that I use when I am working on expanding my ability. I have a number of stones that I use, a number of crystals, but these ones wanted to come out and play today. So the first one I want to show you is one that pretty much everybody will know. This is a piece of amethyst. And the amethyst is traditional for opening the third eye and opening up your intuitive abilities. And amethyst can be in a stone form like that. I also have it here as a necklace or a pendulum. You can find them in earrings, jewelry, everything. So using amethyst to wearing it or using it in your meditation, that is one way right off the bat that you're opening up your sixth sense. It's why a lot of healing centers have those giant cathedrals of amethyst, because that will help the people who are coming to use their intuition in their own healing and in their own spiritual practice. It helps them get out of their brain and get out of their own way. And, that is one of the easiest ones to use. You can also use, most of the quartz crystals have some sort of property that has to do with opening up your gifts. Each one has a different flavor depending on where it came from in the country, how it was mined. I have a little piece here of the Sichuan quartz. And you may see that it's got points on both sides. And so this particular piece is specific for channeling, which is something that I do. And it's also very good for mediumship for people who, talk to spirit on the other side. This particular type of quartz is really fabulous for that. Lindsay said my Lemurian quartz and citrine came to play today. Absolutely. The Lemurian quartz works wonderfully for anybody who has a lot of water energy within their field. I use a giant, about this big, piece of Lemurian quartz. It actually is a cluster that anchors the heart of my home. And so I use that to hold the vibration of my house, my household, for everyone who comes in and everyone who is connected to my household. So I love that. And citrine is really good for that creation energy when you are empowering yourself to create on a higher level. And then my other stone that wanted to come play today it's hard to see in this kind of light. I'm sure it looks kind of more like a rock, but this is a star ruby. And a star ruby is the seed of your soul. So you're tapping into your true essence when you're using it, when you're and when you're feeling it. This is a difficult stone to purchase, just on the heads up, because there are many people who really don't know what they are. So make sure you find somebody reputable that you believe, and trust your own intuition to see if it's really doing what it's saying. I buy my stones in one particular place in Maine. And the reason I buy them there is, number one, they know what they're doing. And number two, because they're right off the ocean, all of the crystals seem to be, they stay charged and they don't seem to pick up the energy of the people in the, who handle them and whatnot. So Jill, there's your synchronicity. You were offered Lemurian Quartz yesterday. Yes, it's a very high vibrational quartz. So for some people, it is a really wonderful tool to work with. Other people, it can be a little ungrounding. So just check in with your own intuition on whether or not it's for you to use on a regular basis or just when you're feeling particularly grounded. And then in addition to that, I use essential oils to help with the expansion of my intuitive gifts. I use them on a regular basis. Basically, I use them at least once a day. And the ones that I have and have channeled that have come through that are really good are the Chakra 6 blend. And I know it's hard to read the writing at this stage, but you can go on to Trinity Healing Sanctuaries, plural.com. And we have some of the Chakra 6 blend because that works on expanding. And then the other one that came to play today was the meditation blend. And this just opens you up to your divine connection. And when you're in your divine connection, your intuitive gifts will actually flow more fully and more easily. The meditation blend and some of our spiritual blends, like the Mother Mary blend, which some people like to tap into to open that part of their gifts, any of the archangels or the goddesses, those aren't available online at the moment because we're sort of in the process of upgrading our shopping cart and our site so that it's easier for you guys to use and easier for us to maintain. So if you're interested in something like that, you can always private message me because I'll make sure that you get it and we can do it through PayPal. Thank you, Neshi. My website is trinityhealingsanctuaries.com. That's where you can find all the cool stuff that we have here. And that is another way to tap into your gifts. So in your energy body, most of your awareness of your intuitive gifts is going to be located in the 6th chakra, in the center of your forehead. It taps into the energy and connects to your pineal gland. And so as that's expanding, you will also be using it in different parts of your body. Many people access through, the top of your crown, through your throat, because you may do a lot of your things through creation energy. You can really tap into it anywhere. And as we do our meditation in a few minutes, we're going to be checking into all the places that your intuitive gifts may have gotten blocked. Because it's not just the gift that gets blocked, it's the thought process behind having intuition and having a gift. So think back to childhood. This is when most people have something come up that starts to shut down their gifts. You saw something and your parents or your caretakers said, you're imagining things. That's not really there. You must be hearing things. You must be seeing things. And it was very difficult because you may have truly seen something and they were telling you were lying. And that definitely happened to me. And I've heard it from many, many people. I like to think of the Monsters, Inc. movie from Disney. There are a lot of those monsters who are very accurate. I watched that movie and I was like a little kid going, you're there, you know, there were so many that were depicted that I had seen. So somebody was being divinely inspired by those drawings and those, because they were very close to different ones that I saw. And people who had the seeing ability when they were children, I've had a lot of them say that was true for them in that movie as well. So one of the things that happens is we doubt ourselves. Doubt can be the biggest obstacle in our own evolution or ascension or whatever you want to call that. And that's because other people may say that what's happening for us isn't real. And so we ask somebody else for an opinion. And you need to be really careful who you're asking, because, they're going to tell you their truth, but that may not be your truth. And so checking into your own internal radar and feeling out whether it's true for you or not. There are a number of people who, don't believe that when I touch someone, a recipe can channel through me to help that person heal. I actually don't even have to touch them, but that's how it started for me. And had I doubted that information, I wouldn't have created any of the healing blends that are out there. And we have over 30 now that are there to help people in general. And I help, when I check in with somebody's aura, I will channel a recipe specific to what you need right now. And so when that happens, if I second guessed what I was being guided on, then I wouldn't be able to do my work. I often look the recipes up afterwards to see what the ingredients do. And then when I read them, then they logically actually make sense. So if I had done it from my thinking brain, I might have chosen those things, but it would have taken me a lot longer. And I know that in those moments, I'm accessing, ancient knowledge that I had when I used to grow these herbs and turn them into oils. Now we're blessed to have, some fabulous companies who make them for us, so we don't have to go through all of that. And I only, I'm putting sort of a side note in there. When you're working with essential oils, please only use certified therapeutic grade oils, because other ones may not be safe for you to place on your body, or safe to diffuse in the air. So there's a lot of places that are using, sort of perfume grade oils, which really don't have the same amount of healing properties. So be careful about what you use. So Lindsay's saying, yes, I've been working on trusting myself and not asking for validation from others. This is a huge step for opening up your intuitive gifts, because the validation, we can't help it. We want somebody's approval. We want them to say, good job. And it can be really daunting to sort of put yourself out there and trust that what you're getting is accurate for you. That's the thing. Your intuition is for you, for your highest good. And when you are opening those intuitive gifts, check in. We each have a different way. So I have a new student who's coming into my school this fall who their left hand vibrates anytime something is important for their soul. So, it'll vibrate over a certain stone. It'll vibrate, if there's a food they're supposed to eat. they freaked out a little bit because it vibrated when they touched the application for the school. They went to hand it to somebody else, and their whole hand just started getting really hot and vibrating, and they actually realized they better not let go. And then so many synchronistic things happened after that. And that's just them paying attention and tuning into their gifts. So I'm curious if anybody, out there, knows what their intuitive gifts are. Or are there some of you who are out there who really have no idea and, just want a general opening? So if some of you have something in mind, like if you want your empathic gifts open to a place where you are in charge of them and they aren't creating havoc in your life, that may be one. Some of you may be clear seers, and maybe you want some clarity in the messages you're receiving, or clarity in what you are hearing. So if you have some intention, make sure that you set that. All right. So Robin said, I know some and are getting more with the learning. Absolutely. So perfect. And Neshi said, my primary is clairaudient, then clairvoyant. Nice. Clairvoyant is, it can be a tough one. It's one that, unfortunately for me, I shut that one down. When I am under stress, that's my first one to shut. It's not my strength, my clairsentient, my clair feeling. And that one, when I get anxious, I shut down my seeing first. It's something I can do, but it's one that I definitely shut down first, and I know that. Margaret says, I'm not sure I feel empathetic and knowing, I think. Yes. There are a lot of people who, I have a very good friend that I went to school with a few years ago. Her name is Renee, and she's an accountant. But she is, she has the clear knowing, right? And she would know tons of information and not know where she was getting it from. And so she thought she had no gifts. And I finally asked her how often she reads, because her excuse was, I must have read it somewhere. And I said, okay, how much do you read that you know all of this stuff? And she barely reads it all. So I'm like, it's much more likely that it's dropping into your awareness. And all of a sudden you just know. And that happens for me all the time as well. I don't know why, I just know. And then often once I know, then I go looking for it somewhere else. And that's, like for validation, if I feel like I need it. Especially if I'm going to teach it, I sometimes try to find the answer behind it. I know why it works and that it works. Sometimes people need to know where it came from rather than, I don't know, they just told me. So these are all things that we'll tap into as we're doing the meditation. So, you can set, like I said, any intention. Yes. So Lindsay's saying my primaries are clairsentient, sentient, and claircognizant. You're pretty close if it's not right. But I believe I shut down my seer a long time ago. Yes. Exactly. We may have had it when we were kids, but it can be a difficult one to manage. But as we expand, the ones that we have the most difficulty with will start to surface. So my seer shows up in auras, and it shows up in chakras all the time. And I do my best not to get anxious when I see people from the other side the way that I used to. But when I will say it every time. When I am under stress, as anybody is, we start to shut down our gifts because we get caught in our physical body and we're not in as much divine connection and as much in our intuitive gifts as we could be. So learning how to open them as soon as you can is good. And Margaret says she's starting to hear. Nice. I know that can be a nice one. I like being able to hear my guides when they're talking to me, and my spiritual team. My spiritual team grew quite a bit over the last year, so I've had to do a little bit of boundary setting. I was thinking about that talking stick that Neshi talked about in one of her morning readings recently. And I was thinking how I need my spiritual team sometimes to have the talking stick because they sometimes talk all at once. And I have to stop and wait and say, I can't hear you when you're all talking. So tap into what you would like to expand and where, you would like your intuitive gifts to grow to. And you can have a simple intention of just, that I would like them to open more. I often use the word gently because sometimes it's a little difficult if our gifts open sort of fully, full force. And that's why we sort of ease into our gifts. So you might want to think of the word gently so that it is a manageable energy shift for you.
Yeah.
Those of you who haven't tapped into my show before, welcome. And I want to let you know that you're going to hear me make those clearing noises. That's me releasing energy for the entire group. Because especially, we all block our energy through doubt, through guilt, through shame, through trauma, when we collapse our self-confidence. And when those things happen, our energy gets sluggish. So as we're doing the healing, my guides have me move the energy through making noise. So it'll often sound like a burp, and sometimes it'll sound like a squawk. If there's something really deep you're holding on to that's ready to go. So your job is simply to relax and meditate and connect with your soul. And my job is to help facilitate whatever healing is meant to happen for the group. So with that said, everybody get comfortable. You want to be sitting or laying down with your legs and arms uncrossed so we don't short circuit our energy system.
Yeah.
And we're going to call in the divine energy, however you perceive that, whether it is God or goddess, creator, spirit, all that is, oneness, consciousness, universe.
Yeah.
And we ask the divine to surround and protect us in a bubble of infinite love and infinite light as we do this healing today.
Yeah.
You may wish to use a second bubble or ask for a second bubble to surround and protect the entire room that you're in. Just for an extra layer so that you feel comfortable and confident in allowing yourself to receive the healing work today.
Yeah.
And we set the intention that this healing is for the good of all and harm to none, including ourselves.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And invite in your spiritual team, your angels, your guides, your ancestors, your animal totems, any star beings, the ascended masters, all divine of the highest, brightest, fullest vibration available to you in this moment.
Yeah.
And we begin to call in the energy through the top of our head. At the top of the crown, you may sense light, tingling, pressure, or cool. You may sense nothing at all. And all of that is perfect, where we each connect to the divine energy in our own unique way.
Yeah.
And we begin by bringing the energy into our third eye, into our brain. And as we do so, we're going to call back all of the distracted energy that we have scattered about. So anything that we are worrying about or thinking about in the past, in the future, just releasing all distractions and just focusing on our own energy with each breath.
Yeah.
We ask to calm the energy that may be spinning in our brain, in our thought patterns, even in our beliefs.
Yeah.
And we begin to clear the energy in our sixth chakra, in our third eye. For as we release any old doubts, thoughts, or beliefs around our intuition,
Yeah.
we are able to receive clarity,
Yeah.
and we're able to understand and interpret all of our senses more fully.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And opening our trust within ourselves,
Yeah.
trust in the messages and the information we sense, we feel, we hear.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And opening up all of our pathways of communication with our spiritual team and the divine. So whether that is through our ears, clearing both the right and the left so we can hear our ancestors and our spiritual team. Not only hear them, sense them, know them, trust them.
Yeah.
And then moving into the throat, the fifth chakra. And clearing away any ways that we have stopped ourselves from expressing our intuitive gifts. Whether from fear or worry, from doubt or from shame.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And releasing the stress that we've carried by holding our energy back and holding our gifts smaller, tighter
Yeah.
than we are meant to.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And really opening all the ways that we are meant to express our gifts, that we are ready and willing to experience
Yeah.
in love and grace and gratitude.
Yeah. Yeah.
And releasing all the energy off of our shoulders. All of the times we should or shouldn't use our gifts. When our gifts begin to feel like a burden rather than a beautiful, magical part of ourselves.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And moving the energy into our heart, into the fullness of our love, love from the divine.
Yeah.
And opening up communication with our inner child. For they are the one who holds the magic of our intuitive gifts, giving them permission to stretch and grow,
Yeah. Yeah.
honoring what they sense, what they believe, what they feel, what they know as truth, so that we may experience it as truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Granting ourselves forgiveness for shutting down some of our gifts in moments of stress and fear. It's simply a natural response. And just breathing into that place of feeling loved and supported,
Yeah.
for having your gifts and using your gifts freely.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And then moving the energy into your third chakra, right below your rib cage in the solar plexus. Releasing any judgment, any resentment that you may have attached to your gifts, whether from others or by yourself.
Yeah.
And any frustration or anger you may be carrying from others not understanding or accepting,
Yeah.
which may have caused you to doubt or not accept yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Releasing any anxiety or panic that you may have attached to opening your gifts.
Yeah.
For it is safe in this moment to open to where you are comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And filling in your self-esteem and your self-worth, that you are worthy of having these gifts and being able to use them whenever you wish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whenever you need, whenever you want to use them.
Yeah. No. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And then moving into your second chakra, just below your belly button.
Yeah.
And releasing any relationships that may have made it difficult
No.
for you to have or experience your gifts. And really opening all of your flow so that you can feel all your feelings, experience all of your gifts,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and really bring back the balance of give and take between you and your spiritual team. So that you may hold and experience your gifts from a place of gratitude.
Yeah. 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 yeah,
And moving the energy down into your first chakra. And really allowing your intuitive gifts to take root in your foundation. And as they take root, it opens up expanded possibilities for your safety, your security, your finances.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Releasing any fear that you had that it wasn't safe to have your spiritual gifts, your intuitive gifts, in this or any other lifetime.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Perfect. Now allowing your energy to move down your legs, and down through your feet, through the floor, through the foundation of the building you may be in, through the earth, and allow your energy to begin to connect deeply and fully within the earth.
yeah,
Whether you see that cord as roots or a simple cord of connection, just allowing it to go through all the layers of the earth, past all the rocks and crystals,
no,
past old dinosaur bones and ancient civilizations.
yeah,
Till you reach the very center, the molten lava center, the heartbeat of creation that resides within the Earth Mother.
yeah,
And allow your energy to connect to her heartbeat as well.
yeah,
This allows you to tap into your natural instinct as well as your intuitive instinct,
yeah,
and allows any energy that we've cleared to go down and be left with the earth to be composted, transformed into beautiful new energy.
no,
And now we're going to invite the divine energy one more time to go down through our crown, filling any of the places that we've opened and released, coming down through our third eye, through our brain, through our throat, our neck, our shoulders, our spine, our ribs, our lungs, our heart, our upper belly organs, our lower belly organs, through our pelvic floor, our hips, Down both legs equally. And filling the layers of the earth beneath our feet as well.
Yeah.
And then ask that this energy vibrate out through all of our auric layers, through the physical, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, even through our past lives and our karmic debt.
Yeah.
Making sure that it goes in front of us, behind us, on either side, above and below us. In a beautiful sphere of healing and light.
Yeah.
And then we ask that any additional energy be sent down into the earth to help cleanse and clear the Earth Mother as well. You take a moment of gratitude with your spiritual team for being here to assist you in your healing today, for gathering us all together to support each other in our own healing, whether you are hearing this in this moment or in some future moment.
Yeah.
Now gently return back to your physical body. Feel the weight of your bones, your muscles on your bones. Feel the connection between you and the floor, the chair, the bed,
Yeah.
whatever you may be sitting on. Also feel the texture of the clothes on your body. Notice the things you hear around you or smell in your environment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And gently begin to dissolve your meditation and bring yourself fully back to the present.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome back. So I hope that was good for you guys. There was a lot of fear energy as a group. I don't ever tap in to see whose energy is being cleared. But when there's a concentrated amount, then it's usually almost everyone in the group. Oh, thank you, Robin. Thank you for this meditation and joining me outside on my deck. Oh, you are so welcome. I was trying to figure out if I could actually broadcast out on the deck, but there's so much sun, which is great, but it causes a reflection. So my deck is literally right there. So I love that. And Margaret said, wow, I'm glad. I hope that's a good wow. So
Yeah.
as a group, we were holding on to some fear energy. And fear, the way my guides show it to me, does not have to be fear in its fullest. It's just energy that is not love. So if we're not filled with self-love, then we have some fear. And fear may be doubt. Fear may be shame. Fear may be guilt. Fear may be resentment, frustration, judgment, anger, whatever it might be. But It's just not love. So there was a bunch of that when we started to get into the solar plexus area. And that area we tend to hold on to a lot of anger, really. I mean, it's forms of anger, forms of fear. And in that space, I mean, it makes perfect sense, right? I mean, we had this gift that other people told us we were crazy or it didn't exist, maybe. Or if you have a really strong awareness of your past lives, you know, you may have been killed for having this ability in another lifetime. So you're like, oh no, not doing that again. So that is what fear energy can look like or feel like or be holding on to in your energy. So when we can kind of recognize that we're having fear, whether it's simply just doubt, just breathe in love, divine love, as much as you can into that place. And it happens to all of us. I just want to make that clear. It's not like I'm walking around or Neshi's walking around and we never go through that. That's a bunch of baloney. All the spiritual teachers out there, anybody who tells you they're done, yeah, they that's not a teacher for you. We're always working on our resistance, the way we resist our abilities. And I actually had an episode, I'll call it an episode, this weekend where, you know, I had a number of people tell me that I couldn't do gardening. I grew up in apartments, so I wasn't exposed to gardening, so I don't have a lot of practice with it, but it doesn't keep spirit from showing me these magnificent meditation gardens that will be here and our labyrinth that will be here. So it's something that I need to learn. And so I was just trying to do a simple little area that I wanted to plant for this weekend because we have an event coming on Saturday. And I wanted some nice flowers outside. And it was I was creating stress from it. And it didn't make any sense to me. I even took a picture of what I want it to look like, and I was just finding the right plants because I had seen somebody do one that I liked. And in my healing of that day, one of the things that healed that day around it was my husband said to me, "You can do anything." And I just started to cry because we can do anything, right? But how many times were we told we couldn't do something or we didn't do it right? That's not right. And so then we stopped doing some of those things because we didn't want to get judged. I didn't want to get judged on whether other people liked what I did for the flowers, I guess. So it was paralyzing me from actually doing it. So I was clearing the energy around that so I could just have fun and play with my inner child. Because my inner child wants to play in the dirt and in the flowers and make pretty things because she really likes to do that. So we all go through times when we feel a little bit of resistance to using our gifts. And when we feel it, we get to choose. We get to use our free will to decide whether we're going to block that or if we're going to clear that. Because I knew that this was not in the present moment. It was all old energy. It had nothing to do with me. And that was just, it was just what I needed. I needed to do something creative that was a stretch for me. And it allowed me to tap into some things that I was holding on and resisting. So I'm sure you guys all have that. So Lindsay says, thank you so much, Polly Jo, and everyone who joined today. You are very welcome. Neshi said, absolutely true. We all continue to learn, experience, master our gifts in as many ways as possible. Yep. You know, they're just ever growing, ever changing. And I love that. And Lindsay said, powerful words from Michael. I need to hear that. I know, don't we all need to hear that? Let's say that again. You can do anything. Because you can. The divine does not understand the word can't. So why use it? So to kind of round out the day, you know, if you want some tools to help you expand, the crystals I showed at the beginning of the show were the amethyst. I also showed quartz, but this one in particular was the Sichuan quartz. This is for channeling and mediumship. And then I showed you the star ruby, which these are very hard to find authentic ones, but you'll feel it within your soul, or you'll know it, or you'll see it. And that one helps with you connecting to your soul. And the blends of the day are the meditation blend, which help you just open all of your channels. And the 6 chakra blend in particular, because most of us block our perception of our intuitive gifts. That's really why it's with the third eye. We're blocking our perception in that area. And that's how our brain, you know, works over with doubt or creating. And Lindsay Jerome says, thank you for sharing this moment with us. Need this today. You are very welcome, sweetie. Ah, yes, there is magic in those words. You can do anything. So how about we spread a little magic today, whenever you're watching this, and take a moment to say that to yourself, but say it to somebody else who you know who needs it, because there's a lot of healing in that, because we all can do anything that we want, anything that we desire. So with that, I hope you guys will join me tomorrow night with Soul Connections at 7 p.m. where we, you know, I facilitate you connecting to your soul and giving yourself whatever healing you are needing. And I pull cards and give divine messages from the cards. Not only what the card means, but what comes through for me that I channel through. I don't just read the cards. I had to explain that to somebody last week. So I'm reiterating that here. And if you are, you know, in driving distance of Trinity Healing Sanctuary here in Western Massachusetts, this Saturday, we're doing a mystical healing fair. From 10 to 2, we're having angel readers, tarot readers, free healings. There's some beautiful crystal jewelry and the healing blends. And I'll be there doing healing and giving information on the school. And then from 2:30 to 5, I'm teaching my class, Mystical Energy Healing 101. And guess what? This time, it's completely free. So if you want to tap into having a free in-person workshop with me, you know, come on down and visit us. Yes, I will draw you a card tomorrow. Robin, that is great. And I will have that there for you, okay? All right, so you guys have a blessed day. Enjoy the sunshine or whatever weather you're having, because it's perfect for you. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys.